Yes.
Everybody ready? I entertain a motion then that we go back into open session.
Make a motion. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Make a motion, we go back into executive session.
No, open session.
Or open session, good lord, okay. What happens when you read and talk at the same time?
All right, we got a motion for, going back into open session. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second, any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. And we're back in open session. We've asked our attorney to make a comment about the decision, so, David?
Thank you. I want to first of all address the last 2 or 3 months, the political atmosphere in Bogata has been full of allegations of criminal activity. And want to encourage the Texas Rangers or someone to go. I've heard that phrase used 6 or 7 or 12 times, and I've got it in writing in my office. So I'm going to short circuit that for everybody. I have called the Red River County DA's office and asked them to request the Texas Rangers to investigate the city. So if there's any illegal activity, it'll bubble to the top, okay? So maybe not necessary anymore to come in and talk about it, just save your comments for the Texas Ranger if he or she shows up. Now, we need to talk about the authority that the city council has to appoint the city council as a group to the crime board. Here's the distinction that I'm gonna try to make. You can either have a group of citizens do it, or you can have the entire city council do it, but you can't have a combination of both. And your opinion from then Attorney General, now Senator, John Corwin, cites the section. It says 363.105 of the code says the governing body of a municipality may appoint the governing body's membership as the board of directors.
Can I say something?
I wished you would.
Okay. They appointed all of us. They approved all of us.
Okay, and then it says, this is your authority, ma'am,
Okay.
I'm just reading it to you. It says here that the people appointed serve at the pleasure of the governing body. That means they can unappoint you a week later. 3 weeks later, they can say, no, thank you for your service, we don't want you to serve. And this is what you presented to the city council.
Okay.
So hold on, no, let me finish, please. So what the city council has done is they've said, we're gonna appoint our entire group as the crime control board. They can't just appoint one of them. That's what this says. Can't just appoint one. If Teresa said, I want to appoint myself to the crime board, and we're taking appointments for people from town, citizens, she would be prohibited from doing that. And because why? That's hybrid. That means there's some people on the governing body and there's some people as citizens, and that's what you can't do. If y'all remember 2 years ago when this came up, and I think Teresa was on it, and maybe Melissa was on it as well, and I said, I think you can't do it that way. And I remember the meeting well. Moaning and wailing and people saying, you're a troublemaker, Hamilton, we've done it this way forever. And I just said, we've been doing it wrong forever. That's my job, is to point that out.
Well, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Since the citizens of Bogata voted this in, doesn't the citizens of Bogata have to vote it out?
No, ma'am. And you're talking about voted out, and I recall what you said in the public forum, that if this happens, that money just goes away, and that's not true. Because I know you're grinning, but these people have voted that they as a group will serve, not that they will serve individually.
Cannot do
No.
that. They cannot do that.
Okay, if you think this is wrong, then you need to go
I know it's wrong.
hire a lawyer. I just quoted from the very authority that this person presented.
If I can't serve on the school board and the city council at the same time because it's conflict of interest. I cannot serve on the crime control board. The attorney general told me this. I cannot serve on the crime control board and the city council at the same time either.
Hold on, but you didn't complete the sentence, sir. The sentence says you can't do that individually, and that is a conflict individual. Hold on, let me finish.
Why in the conflict with that mayor if he is appointing the crime control board and
Because
council.
the city council has the authority under the statute to appoint themselves as a group.
Well, then why do we have an election to appoint these people to the city council?
I'm sorry?
Why do we have an election then to appoint
Because
these?
the election code says that's how you're gonna do it.
Then they're supposed to be appointed to the crime control board also.
Well, they can't, that's what they did.
That, on their own.
That's what they did.
Yeah, on their own.
Well, the law says they can
If
do
they
it.
can't serve both, if they can't serve both.
But your premise is wrong.
No,
Your
you say
premise is
all
wrong.
of them have to be on it.
All of them, not just one. It has to be
They
the whole
all
group.
have
They
to be
all
on it.
have to be on it. Not just one of them. You'd be right if they're just saying, we're just gonna have one person over here on it. You would be correct.
Okay, I
Wait a
want to
minute.
say something.
Okay?
And I would like for somebody to tell me, besides just the fact that did we at the crime control board do something that, excuse my expression, pissed everybody off, except for the fact that Tex did not like our president. That was the reason that he gave me for voting to disband the crime control board, is because I don't like your president, Miranda, and I don't like the way she does business. If he had a problem with Miranda, why didn't he take it up with Miranda instead of doing what he did to the crime control board?
Your point may be well taken. It's a factual issue, but I will go right back to your very authority, which says they serve at the pleasure of the city council. That's it.
Okay, so did the
I
crime control
can't,
board?
ma'am, asking me the same question a different way is not.
Okay, I'm asking him.
They're not gonna talk to you about that.
No, he won't talk to anybody
Maybe
about
so.
it.
And the way to get a remedy on that is at the ballot box.
We will.
By that time, it'll be too late.
Yes, sir.
If the board
Well,
itself.
maybe they'll get it
says
back.
The board itself has to be unified.
You need to tell me what unified means.
One, in other words, they all have to agree to serve on this board, is that correct?
No, I'm not following your logic here. If they say we're gonna do it, that means all of them have to do it.
Well, that's everybody,
Yeah, okay.
thank you.
Yes, sir.
Can I say something?
Okay, if one or two says, I'm not serving,
Which they have.
will that,
Nullified?
They don't have that choice.
Why don't they?
crap?
Well, they can't, if they appoint themselves, they have to serve. It's just like anything else.
No.
They don't get to reject it. If they say no, then we got another problem. That's way on down the line. That's another deal. If they say, I'm gonna refuse that appointment, that's for another day at another spot. What we're faced with right now is, the last city council meeting I was at, they said, we are gonna become the crime control board.
Yes,
Blah, blah, voting. Okay, so that's where we are. Now, if somebody decides I'm not gonna do that, that presents another problem for another meeting. It's not today, because right now, as the city exists, this is the crime control board.
But she made a motion earlier to,
I made a motion out of line.
And it was never seconded. Thank you for your procedural comment, but it's never seconded, so it is
well, it
not.
wasn't given an opportunity to be seconded.
Absolutely.
Mayor-
And the reason for that is because everybody's got their own version of the law, and I get it. You can Google and figure it out, you think, but you gotta stick your law into the facts. And the facts are not that one person's appointing one person to do this, it's the whole board. It's a group body unified thing, like you said.
Yes,
Very
sir.
well.
I understand.
They all gotta do it, and they said they were all gonna do it the last time I had a city council meeting, they said, yeah, we'll do it. So
Where's
that's-
this money gonna be still separate?
It's gotta be,
Thank God for that.
it's gotta be,
Good.
it's gotta be.
How can it be separate
Right.
Because the crime board and stuff was used for the police department. It can't be used for city.
No.
City.
Absolutely not. I would imagine, I'm just thinking ahead, that if there's a bank account someplace.
There is.
Where this money's deposited, it will stay right there. And no, and you can look at the expenses, and for sure, they have to use it for exactly what the statute says they can use it for. They send out salaries, cars, they
Yep.
spend a lot.
So,
Wasn't the salary was the only thing they didn't pay for. They did everything else.
We pay for the part-time.
so we don't have any say-so at all about the crime control board.
Well,
Not till election time is what he's
You
saying.
You do, but not at this level. Yeah, you voted to establish the district. That's what you voted to do. It's like if you vote to establish a water
Why
district.
were we told then, when this law was put on the ballot, or when this was put on the ballot, why were we told that in order for it to cease, it had to be voted out by the citizens of the
Okay,
City.
you're assuming a fact that's not here, sir. The crime control board is not going away.
I didn't say it wasn't going
Well,
away.
you said for it to cease, so what, I'm having a hard time following your definition.
Because I'm not voting for any of these people.
Well,
If they're
that's-
running both, Vince Lum did the same thing. He took it away and took the books away from the crime control board and did an audit all
That's
together.
what he did.
You've hit what your remedy is. So your remedy is to go to the ballot box and try to figure this out here. It's not in here
That's what I'm
today.
gonna do.
It's not in here today.
That's true.
Well, and I know you said that they can't, I'm sure under advice you've told them not to comment, but I do want to say this on that note, what you're saying. I do know that 2 of the board members did want to not do it, and that's Teresa Allison and Melissa Kirby. So I don't think the ballot box issue should be their issue. But as far as everything, and Mr. Hamilton, I know sometimes I can be abrasive,
You can.
and I don't mean to be. I had a
That's
teacher.
okay. I can be abrasive.
I had a teacher that actually said I should be an attorney.
Yeah.
So it just.
Good thing that you didn't, because you'd be right here like this.
Oh no, I pity you sometimes.
Eating Rolaids.
But the thing of it is, and I think you can appreciate this fact, a lot of this is going to go back to public perception. And public perception, by the comments that I'm getting and the people that are messaging to me and everything, is they're not happy that the city of Bogota is doing away with a separate crime board. They're absorbing it, as you're saying, is their right. And, you're the legal advice for the city, so we have to take you at that. I know others are consulting their own attorneys and stuff, but I just, it gives the perception to the citizens of Bogota that something shady is going on. And whether that's the fact, I'm just saying public perception makes this look like this meeting was held in the middle of the day when a lot of people couldn't come. A lot of people are very, very upset that they're not here right now. And there will be, like you said, at the ballot box, there will be repercussions. But
I have a lot of empathy for what you're saying. My job is to tell these people what I think the law is
Right.
to these facts. And I too am worried about the perception of the city for many reasons.
Right.
Not just this, but for many reasons. But I'm not employed to take care of political or perceptual issues.
right.
I'm employed to try to say, here's what I think the law is based on the facts that you have given to me. And that's what I've told them.
Right.
What upsets me is, I know that they supposedly can't talk back to me or anything, but what upsets me is they've insinuated that the Crime Control Board was doing something that we weren't. And I was on the Crime Control Board. And if there was something that was done, I think that it ought to come out in the open, because I don't like for people to be running around looking at me as if I did something wrong. The only thing that I did was serve on the board, and like I said, the only answer that we got when we asked why was because Tex didn't like our president.
May I say something, ask a question or suggestion as well? So, You know, I was on Bogota PD for 7 years. The crime control board always worked very well together because they worked together as a whole. There wasn't divisiveness. You had Miss Nellie, you had Bob, you had Roland, you had Debbie, Donna Roselle, Betty Watts, James Watts, so many good people on that board. So my question is this, suggestion. I know Teresa and I know Melissa said they don't want to do this. And I think you're going to have a hard time really serving the citizens and whoever comes at the PD next with a divided board.
Exactly.
So my question is this. Could it be at the September meeting or the October meeting, whichever one, could there be a way for the council to appoint new members, but the members they appoint be a unanimous vote by all 5 members of the council to be a new crime control board? That way, you know, if, I don't know if Teresa appoints somebody that Melissa doesn't like or whatever, that way they have a united front as a council and have a unified vote on who they put on that board. Can that be done?
I can't commit to that because that is not a decision I can make. You're asking me if that's legal?
Yes.
Maybe is the best answer I can give you. Maybe.
So then my question to the council is this, or current crime control board is this. Would y'all be willing to make a motion to table everything today? And that way y'all can have some future discussion on this?
I don't think that's an option, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
There are things, budgetary things we've got to get some business done on the crime control board to figure into the city budget, and we are on a hard, fast deadline for that. September 30th, 11:59 p.m. We don't have a budget in place. We lose the ability to pay any bills, pay payroll.
We're not talking about the city, we're talking about the crime control board.
I'm answering a question that was asked, and no, tabling this stuff is not an option today.
Okay,
We've got to make these decisions today.
So if you go through and appoint your people today, could it be on a temporary basis until y'all can find out more what I was asking earlier?
Listen, we've gone over the law here. And the law says they appoint and they serve at the pleasure. It can always be changed. It can be changed, but it's their decision, not anybody else's.
Right. No, I'm not
So
arguing that.
try not to commit them to doing something in the future. Here's our problem right now legally. That crime prevention board budget should have already been approved by the city council. That's the law.
We couldn't make a crime control board budget.
Well,
Because of this.
I don't know why, but there were supposed to be public hearings starting in June. And this is not new news to anybody in this room because this is exactly the same presentation I made 2 years ago when I could not get a copy of the crime control budget. And I said the city council is mandated by statute to approve that budget. They have to do it. And everybody walked around going, well, we've never done that before.
Yes, we did.
Well, there's some issues
I
about
have
that.
copies of budgets from way back.
Yeah. Well, you may have, but there's nothing in the minutes of the city council that said they approved it.
Okay.
And that's where we all have to go.
So basically, bottom line then, what we're looking at is it's the city council's decision.
Yeah.
Well, it's the three on the city council's decision. Well, I know,
I don't
Chris is-
appreciate the fact that both of them are under the man is one man. And I'll see you at the polls.
so as I was saying, basically what you're saying at this time, the city council, which we know Teresa and Melissa, what their feelings are, but the rest of the city council and the mayor don't want to reconsider having the crime control board to be separate. That's their decision at this time. And so for the citizens that want to know why this is not up for discussion, that's the decision at this time.
You have assumed so many facts that I don't know. Hold on.
No, I'm just asking.
My turn. My turn.
No, I was asking you.
Hold on. My turn.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to get quiet? Please?
Yeah.
You're assuming facts that I don't know about. I have no idea whether this person will serve or this person will serve. I don't know.
Well, she's
Hold now. Wait.
okay.
Without that fact, nobody can make a decision. Nobody. And right now, what the status of the place is, and I'm gonna say it again for the third time this meeting, this is the Crime Control Board. That's it.
Whether they want to be or not.
They have appointed themselves, ma'am.
Well, she's back there shaking her head no.
All right, I would respectfully ask that comments stop. In fact, I would ask for a motion for comments to cease.
I'll make that motion.
Do we have a second for this motion?
I'll second it.
Any other discussion? All in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. Any opposed say no. All right, now going back to where we were, under new business. First item up is the discussion of the reorganization of the Crime Board of Directors and under supervision of the City Council. This particular item is a generic, or generic may not be the right word. It is an effort then for this crime board to take care of the different responsibilities, and that's where we're at this point. And item number 7 and 8, in light of what we've learned, basically is not permitted. So items 1 through 6 is where we're at. So item 1 covers kind of all of those things as you go through the steps of assuming those responsibilities. So what's the wish of this council?
I'm confused about what you were just saying.
I'm sorry.
We've got to decide who's gonna serve in what position.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
that's
item
item
one.
one.
Item 1 was the discussion. That's the one we just took a vote on, to end. I made the motion, you seconded, and it was unanimous.
Okay,
Item 2 is appointing a crime board president.
right, okay.
I just asked Melissa if she would be willing to do that. She served on the board and, make sure I represent this right. Her mother's health is not gonna allow her to do that. So, Chris indicated to me he did not want to do that, so it's basically either you, Dakota, or myself as the president. I will be glad to do it. I don't have a problem with it. Dakota, if you want it, that's fine. We just have to appoint these positions.
Does the mayor get a position too?
This is the five members of the council.
That was what we had to clarify, is that Larry is not on the crime board.
And that question was asked, and that was part of the advice we were given, so. Something else?
Any discussion on that? Otherwise, we need a motion. All right, I'll call a second time for a motion. All right, for lack of a motion then, we'll move forward with item number 3. So there's no motion on item 2. Item 3, appointment of a vice president.
Would anybody be willing to serve as the vice president?
Well, we gotta get somebody here.
You want the position?
I've got a business to run, I don't have time to.
All right, I'll call for a motion the second time. For lack of a motion, we'll move on to the secretary, and probably secretary treasurer, actually, but,
I think those are supposed to be two separate areas.
well, they are, but I mean, the secretary can serve as treasurer as well, but they can serve, multiple roles, but
Being the secretary for the crime board before, that's a full-time position. I don't think it's wise to do the
okay,
treasurer and
you
the
can
secretary.
separate it out. So far, we're not achieving anything.
I make a motion that we appoint our city secretary as the secretary for the crime board. According to the law, the secretary can be appointed outside the board of directors.
There's a motion, by the way, if you don't know the new secretary, her name is Jamie Jarvis.
No, Bobby.
Bob,
Bobby Joe Jordan.
I'm like you, nowadays. Yeah, Bobby Jarvis, she's been with me all week, and she's pretty sharp,
Teresa, I will second your motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second to appoint, Bobby Jarvis as the crime board secretary. Do we, you seconded it,
I
right?
did second.
Okay. All right. Any other discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. Item number 5, position as treasurer.
Isn't that what Chris was last year?
Treasurer, no, I don't think so.
Chris Kennedy?
Yeah,
Huh.
he was on the crime board last year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think
Before
he had a position.
Yeah, he was
They-
only
wanted
there a
position.
couple of months, I don't think he was.
Nelda was a treasurer.
No, I was
Chris didn't want to be vice president.
I was vice president.
You are, okay, I thought you, sorry. So who was the treasurer for y'all?
I think
We
he,
had the treasurer and the secretary together so that
You did.
they could,
do we have any nominations?
I will again say I'm willing to serve if it's your pleasure.
All right, I'll call again for a nomination.
Have her do that? They just said they had to do that.
I think,
All right.
I think the treasurer has to come from the board of directors. So if you wanna make that a dual office, it has to be one of us to be the secretary and the treasurer.
Well,
And I
I'm
can't-
gonna vote Chris there.
For the treasurer,
I'll second.
We have a nomination. And second for Chris as treasurer. Any discussion?
Teresa, you seconded that?
no, Melissa did.
Melissa, okay.
All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. And I think that's all the positions, is it not?
I'll make a motion, we go back and revisit item 2.
Item number 2, discuss, oh, well, I have a motion then for that. Do we have a second?
I'll make that a motion then.
All right. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, motion and second to visit item number 2, appointment of the president of the crime board.
Are we gonna ask if that motion passes?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking we did. I'm trying to think ahead. So, do we, all in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. All right, then back to the item number 2. Crime board president.
So who's willing?
I'm willing, if that's what I need to do.
If you're gonna be the only one that'll volunteer, then I make the motion.
For Tex as president.
Yep.
We have a motion.
Yeah, Dakota made the motion.
Okay. Any other nominations? All in favor of the motion, say aye. Any opposed, say no. 2 for and 2 abstain. where we're at?
That's what I've got.
So does that create then something that I have to vote?
Yep, an abstention is considered to be a no vote for purposes of procedure. Yep.
No. Motion, nomination failed. 3, 4. All right. Any other, visits? I think, we're at a point where we need to reconsider. I'm not sure the exact course that we need to take, so I think maybe a motion to table, would that be accurate?
Which item do we need?
Well, the items that we had no motion on,
Okay.
that would be 2 and 3
You can do
and 5,
5?
isn't that right?
that.
No,
No,
5 is
no,
treasurer.
You've got somebody to do that.
Okay, yeah, that's for
3 and
6.
6.
Okay, I make a motion, we table items 2, 3, and 6.
All right, we have a motion to table items 2, 3, and 6. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. So what do we have? Let's do the vote by roll call. Okay, Dakota,
What are we voting on?
voting on to table items 2, 5, and 6. Teresa,
Abstain.
Melissa,
Abstain.
Tex.
Aye.
All right, that again creates that position. So, Mayor says aye. So that completes our agenda. I would entertain a motion to end.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Do we have a second? All in favor of the motion say aye. Any opposed say no.
Will
Ayes have it.
will the city announce when it's gonna be, back on the agenda?
We always announce whenever there's gonna be something on the agenda.
Cause I didn't see like the city secretary thing on the website, that's why I didn't.
Well, that one is still to be entered in, she's just been here 4 days, so.
Well, no, I meant the meeting, where they did the hiring and interviewing and stuff.
Oh, that's out there on that and our Facebook page.
Well, those interviews
Yeah,
for
there's a
those
lot of
job
stuff on
positions are not open meetings.
No.
Oh, he said on the thing it was an open meeting, the one on the post.
I need to ask another question. My name is on the bank account at the bank. I need to get it off of there,
Yeah,
so that
the
council
if
can-
we ever elect did you take the president position? You did?
No.
No, I volunteered, but it was voted down and tabled.
Okay. So,
until then, just leave it like it is.
yeah, we can't change it until we have to turn minutes and that thing into the city.
And then there has to be a deal about removing me and all that mess.
All right, we are adjourned. Thank you very much.
Kinda off topic, but I saw where where sanitation solutions is going up, so they're having to go up on their water. Do you know if that's happening for us too?
I believe it happened for us, I think, last year.
Yeah, we did it last year.
Oh, I didn't know if I thought they.
Yeah, they went up on ours last year.
Well, I knew it went up, but I thought maybe they went up again.
No, God,
Everything
no.
else is.
Not again. Are you going back to the hospital?
Yeah, I'm gonna